Welcome to Weekday Somatics. One announcement is that I at least tentatively have a meeting scheduled at noon, which is in an hour from now, so we may not have a Q&A today. So let's choose a posture. I often talk about support. I talk about a posture in which we can receive the support, and it's always important. Right now, in particular, it's very powerful. So for those who are sensitive to it, you may have been noticing over the last several days an increase in a certain kind of energy. This is Navaratri. Began last week. So this support, which is always here, is amplified. Certain qualities of this support are amplified, and in a way that we can receive, even if we're not normally as sensitive to it. So it's a very powerful time. So choose a posture where you can surrender completely. And at the same time, remain awake. So there's a chant, a mantra, Jai Ma, means Divine Mother is victorious. Whatever we are willing to surrender, we are guaranteed victory. We can't do it through our own efforts. Our own efforts have resulted in frustration, fear, disappointment, discouragement, a sense of being alone, cut off, separate. And the more that we have tried, the worse it's become. This is reflected in all levels of our experience. So we begin by becoming aware of how that is true in our physical bodies, our physical experience, how the more that we have tried, the more we have experienced everything that we don't want at the physical level. The more we try to get it right, the more we discover just how much there is, how much complexity, sophistication, the interconnectivity of everything. How if we touch one thing, everything is affected in unexpected ways. It's overwhelming. But we try harder and harder, and then we become more and more terrified. So notice at the level of the physical body, how you're still trying to get it right, trying to fix the pain, the discomfort, the misalignments. And be willing to tell the truth. It's too much for me. Even if I dedicate every waking moment of this lifetime and beyond to solving my problems, I won't succeed. Because my problems are too big, too vast. So at the level of the physical body, let's be willing to surrender to that which is the power that animates this entire universe and all universes. That power and intelligence that is the light in all things. It's the light that is emanating from the stars. It's the light that is reflected in the moon. It's the light that travels along our nerves. It's the light at the heart of every cell of our body. It's a real light. It's not an imaginary light. It's a true light. It really exists. And it's one light, appearing as many, but it's one light. This one light is a light of awareness. It is aware. It is a presence. And it is responsive. If we say to it, it has to be my way, it responds to that. So let us stop insisting that it must be my way, and let us surrender to that intelligence and simply ask with a heartfelt prayer, guide me, carry me, lift me, be with me. So that we can surrender all of our self-effort and know that this body, this physical body, is in the arms of our Divine Mother, that light. She carries us, and she has many faces. Just like our earthly mothers, some faces we have an easier time with, other faces are more difficult. We don't understand them, we fear them. Which is why we have to surrender, because she's taking care of everything so that we don't have to. So whatever arises in your experience, whatever images or sensations, memories, thoughts, see them as the faces of Divine Mother, as she sends her blessings, her healing light, to solve all of your problems, to work miracles, to transform your pain and suffering into blessings and gifts in this world. Blessings in your life and in the lives of every person, every being. When you are willing to surrender, when you are willing to accept the miracles, then those miracles transform you and they transform your world. It's an important act of service. She is also the light in its subtler forms. Notice your energetic sense. Notice how hard you've struggled with this energetic sense. trying to fix it, trying to hide it, trying to protect it. All the shame that you've held around this. All the frustration, the anger, the resentment, the disappointment. That there's something wrong with me energetically. I don't have enough energy. I don't have the right kind of energy. I have too much energy. I have the wrong kind of energy. I have bad energy. All of these things that we've tried to fix. And we didn't even know we were doing it. We were so innocent. We didn't know. But right now, we are invited to see the truth of it, to see how hard we have worked unconsciously to manage and fix our energy, trying to be good enough and pure enough and enough the right way, trying to navigate through our own limited resources and just see that it hasn't worked and that it won't work. And see the fear of the fear that is the seeming obstacle to the true surrender. The fear that this divine presence either isn't enough, can't fix my problems, the same presence and light that shines the stars, that moves the planet, somehow it can't solve my problems. We have that fear. Or we have the fear that it simply doesn't care, it's not responsive, that it will abandon us, that we're all alone. Or the fear that we didn't earn it, that we aren't pleasing, that there's something shameful about us. But see that this divine light, this truth, shines equally on all. It is unconditional. Just as the sun shines equally on all, regardless of whether they are good or bad. In that very same way, this divine light is shining on all of us, in all of us, through all of us. It's here right now. And it has no conditions. It does not judge us. It does not condemn us. And it desires for our fulfillment. That's its nature. It is Mother. She wants only for your true fulfillment, for your true wellness. And if you're simply willing, you don't have to bring it about, you don't have to do anything, you don't have to imagine it, you don't have to visualize it, you don't have to believe it. It's just your willingness opens that door. And then just know and trust that Your willingness to surrender is what allows the miracles to occur. So be willing to surrender the management of the energy. This same light is the light that allows us to see. It is what illuminates all that we see, both outwardly and inwardly. So notice now, as we observe these subtler levels, how much effort you have made to control what you see. And in particular, observe how you try to manage what you see inwardly, how you've tried to produce an inner seeing that is pleasing to you, but see how it is that your ways have not produced good results. You are innocent, just like a child. It was simply a mistake. You didn't do anything wrong. But see the truth of it. See how painful it's been. See how your efforts to control and manage what you see inwardly has resulted in a kind of constipation. And it's produced an inner darkness because you say, no, I don't want to see that. That's too painful. That's too scary. That's too sad. That's too overwhelming. And so you've cut yourself off from your birthright of clear seeing, of flow, of peace. So see and tell the truth that your way hasn't worked and it won't work, and you need help. I need help. So have the courage to surrender all of your self-effort as it pertains to this inner seeing. Surrender to this divine presence and rest in her arms. Feel her support. Feel her support at all levels. Let her show you. Let her guide you. Let her reassure you and take care. We can't cross the ocean of suffering on our own. We need to be carried. See how you've done the same with thoughts, trying so hard to manage them, to come up with the right thoughts, to solve your problems. But tell the truth. Just look honestly at how badly that has worked out. Rather than having pleasing thoughts, your efforts have resulted only in hardness, bitterness, anger, thoughts of lack, resentment, envy, fear. And again, it's innocent. You didn't do anything wrong. It was a necessary lesson to discover that you don't need to do it that way. That's the hard way, and it doesn't work. We each have to learn that lesson. But once we learn the lesson, we don't need to keep doing it. So receive that wisdom now. Through grace, receive that wisdom so that you can surrender. Surrender your thoughts. Surrender the management of the thoughts. And let her purify your thoughts. So don't be afraid of whatever thoughts arise. Don't be afraid of what images arise. Don't be afraid of what sensations arise. Don't be afraid. Even if fear arises, know that you are held, carried, protected, supported by this one supreme power. Let her carry you all the way across the ocean. Let her show you your true nature. Discover yourself in this profound stillness. In deep surrender. Everything cared for, everything protected. And then notice your pure desires, not the reactive desires at the superficial level, but these pure desires, these desires from your heart, your true desires, the desires of your true nature, who you really are. The desire for peace, the desire for love, the desire for harmony, the desire for beauty. The desire for connection. The desire for service. The desire for remembrance. Notice how these pure desires exist without conditions, and they exist in your heart, right at the core of your being. You don't have to go looking for them. They are here. They are who you are. These are your desires. These are not borrowed from the world. Now, be courageous. see the truth of these desires, the purity of them, how they are your purpose, your true purpose, how your life can only be fulfilled through the expression of these true desires. See how backward and confused all of your desires were previously, all of the worldly desires borrowed from others. See how powerful and pure and true these heartfelt desires are, emanating from your very being, inseparable from who you are. And really sense these desires, the actual experience of them, how they open you, how they begin to produce a very blissful experience within yourself. Unconditional love, unconditional peace, joy in the heart of every being, harmony. Just stay with the purity of it and notice how it opens something very powerful within you, stirs this very blissful movement. Let this blissful movement, this beautiful light of this union in this deep surrender of self to this divine light. Let this divine love affair radiate gently, pleasingly, so that it begins to remake you. So that you can be remade in alignment with these pure desires. Let the light radiate so that it illuminates the field of thought, and effortlessly and naturally the thoughts that are in alignment with these pure intentions, these pure desires, take shape in your awareness from now on. Let this light radiate into the field of all seeing, so that naturally and effortlessly those images which are most truly an expression of these pure intentions come into your awareness from now on. Let this light radiate into your field of energy, so that your energetic experience from now on is in alignment with this pure intention. And let this light radiate into your physical body, through the entire physical body, the inner body, the organs, the muscles, connective tissue, the bones, the skin, so that every cell in your body is attuned to this divine frequency. Let it radiate outward from your skin into your world as a blessing, so that you begin to recognize yourself and your true abundant nature. Endless peace, endless purity, endless love, true abundance. Let it radiate to your loved ones. All of those who you love. Let it radiate to all who are here presently, collectively participating in this inquiry. And let it radiate to all who will participate in this inquiry at any time. Let it radiate into the past, bringing healing to all of the past, bringing healing to your past self, to your ancestors, to all beings, and let it radiate into the future. Let it radiate in all directions. Share your abundant nature with all expressions of your Divine Mother in all of her forms. Bless this earth. Bless the water. Bless the air. Bless the fire. Bless all of the animals, all of the plants, all of the rocks. Bless the solar system, all of the planets, the sun, all of the moons. Bless this entire universe. Send blessings from your abundant nature. The more you bless, the more you are blessed. All the blessings bless you. Now begin to become aware of your physical body. Become aware of your tongue. Become aware of your eyes. Become aware of the top of your head, the sides of your head. Become aware of the whole head. Become aware of the throat and neck, the shoulders, the upper arms, the lower arms, the hands and fingers. Become aware of your chest and upper back. Become aware of the abdomen and the lower back. Become aware of the pelvis, the thighs, the knees, the lower legs, the feet. Become aware of the sensation of your body in contact with the surface you are on. And become aware of that contact and support at a very deep level, feeling your body connected to the center of the earth. At the same time that you are connected to the center of the earth, also be aware of your breath, connecting you to the air. Feel the support of the earth and the air. Slowly begin to move the fingers to reacquaint yourself with moving the body. And take a moment to let go even more deeply in the body. You don't need to hold yourself up if letting go more deeply means lying down. That's okay. And in a moment, if you would like, then you may begin to slowly explore opening the eyes if the eyes have been closed. Take your time, don't rush. This has been a very powerful inquiry. And as I said, especially for those who are joining live and anybody who joins during this time over the next several days. It's a very powerful time. So, as I said, those who are sensitive to it probably have already noticed over the last several days. You may not have known what was going on. So if you are experiencing a lot, if you're aware of a lot of energy, be extra gentle. If you want to keep the eyes closed for longer, if you want to take a nap, that would be perfectly fine. Also, if you find that the energy is overwhelming at any point today or in the next several days, in addition to resting, being very gentle, I would suggest a few things. Some that you've heard me suggest, some that are maybe new. Make sure that you're nourishing yourself. So if you don't eat enough, sometimes if there's a lot of energy, we don't want to eat. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the energy, then making sure that you're eating enough is important. It will help to ground the energy. So you want to make sure you're eating enough, that you're eating well. Just make nourishing choices. Don't worry about what that is externally. We can't, nobody could tell you exactly what you need. It's more your intention, what you're attracted to that calls to you in a nourishing way. That's the right thing. So nourish yourself at all levels with rest, with good nutrition. Make sure that you're staying hydrated, water, liquid, broth. Adequate salt will help. Your intention is the most important thing. Your intention to be present and to surrender and to trust whatever arises is perfect. It's the answer to your prayer. Your prayer is for help, for support, to be carried. So don't reject whatever arises. Receive it and say thank you and surrender so that you're not trying. You're not needing to do it. If you're scared, be carried. Also, taking a bath or a shower to help ground will be helpful too. So utilize these things to help you so that you're not overwhelmed, because we're receiving just enormous blessings, and that can be a lot. Just know it's good, and it's also good to care for yourself. And as I often say, you're not alone. Don't believe that you're alone. Your prayers are very powerful. So if you ever are afraid that you're alone, or if you're just afraid, prayer is very helpful. And if all else fails and you're still afraid and you're alone, you feel alone and you don't know what to do, don't be afraid to reach out. You can send me an email. You can message me. Okay, so I'm going to end the recording of the formal inquiry now. Thank you to everybody who's joined here live or in the recording. Your willingness to be here is very powerful. It's a blessing to this world. It's a blessing to all. So thank you for that.